Now, on the off chance you've never heard of this show or know very little about it, allow me to give you the basic rundown of the plot. In the far-flung year of 2772, Earth, now a city-wide planet known as Acmetropolis, is struck by a meteor. The shockwave that results from the meteor's impact imbues specific residents of the city planet with supernatural powers. These individuals are brought together under the same roof by a mysterious woman known only as Zadavia. However, the shockwave also gave some of Acmetropolis' less than stellar members of society their own powers, which threatens the city planet's way of life. So it's up to these individuals to use their powers to save the world, going under the team name of the Loonatics. These individuals include Ace Bunny, the leader of the group that still retains his ancestors' knack for wisecracks and can shoot lasers from his eyes; Lexi Bunny, the sole female member of the team that has supersonic hearing and light psychic abilities; Danger Duck, the plucky comic relief egotist with teleportation powers; Slam Tasmanian, the team muscle that retains his ancestors' tornado abilities with lightning to boot; Tech E Coyote, the team's, tech guy that invents all sorts of gadgets for the team to use; and Rev Runner, the youngest member of the team that's gifted super speed alongside a motor mouth. We open the episode with Acmetropolis in the middle of a heat wave. As the citizens look for any way to beat the heat, a giant iceberg rises from the water and begins smashing itself into the city, destroying everything in its path. As it makes landfall, it starts freezing over everything, including the citizens. As all of this is happening, we're introduced to the Loonatics themselves. This opening scene gives us everything we need to know about our heroes in one fell swoop. Tech and Rev are bickering about frozen pizza, Ace demonstrates his I-beam powers by heating up said pizza, Duck is still trying to figure out a cool enough superhero name, Lexi dances into the room to herald the incoming arrival of Slam, who really should have known better that it's freezing outside. Zadavia teleports herself in via projection to alert the team of what's going on outside, as we get a zoom-out shot of Lunatics HQ surrounded by neighboring buildings, reenacting the deep freeze scene from The Day After Tomorrow. Then the intro starts. That glorious, glorious intro. We get a recap of the show's plot from Zadavia, followed by a simple roll call of the team, highlighting their various powers. At the end of it all, we see glimpses of the Rogues Gallery soon to come, followed by the title card. Simple and effective, sure, but it's the music that ties it all together. The guitar riffs, the orchestral score, then the choir kicks in. It's an unbelievably epic score that, no joke, made me record it on a VHS tape just so I could replay it over and over again. And that's not a shock, considering the one behind it is Thomas Chase Jones, a composer that has scored a number of animated shows and films, including Codename Kids Next Door, Captain Planet, The Batman, Adventures of the Gummy Bears, Alvin and the Chipmunks, and Little Nemo the Dream Master. His biggest claims to fame, however, were doing the theme songs for both the Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Laboratory. We cut back to HQ, where Zadavia is explaining the situation. The iceberg, a possible remnant of the meteor, will only continue to make things colder, eventually resulting in a new ice age for the planet. With some new superpowered flamethrowers invented by Tech, the team heads out to hopefully melt this iceberg. By the way, does this bit of music sound familiar?
You look at that thing, it's gotta be the biggest iceberg I've ever seen. I've seen some doozies. Do you think we should have put some more juice in the blaster slip? Not that I doubt your expertise or anything.
Clever, Chase. Real clever. The flamethrowers prove ineffective by themselves, so Ace has Slam use friction caused by a spin attack to melt the ice, which does the job. But before the team can celebrate, the remains of the iceberg break open, revealing a large futuristic Viking ship inside.
Boy, are you guys lost.
This is Gunnar, a robotic Viking who plans on taking over Acmetropolis with his ice powers. His crew's ice weapons ultimately overpower the team, resulting in them being encased in ice as we end Act 1. For every episode we cover, I want to highlight the writers and directors for each episode to show you just who was recruited for Loonatics Unleashed. I'm doing this not only to be as thorough as I possibly can, I also want to give credit to the names that don't get enough recognition, because you'd be surprised at what shows these people worked on. Dan Fawcett got his start in the early 80s working on Spider-Man as a layout artist. After bumping around various shows like Saturday Supercade, Punky Brewster, Alf Tales, and Laser Tag Academy, Fawcett would get his big break as the lead storyboard artist for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, starting with the show's third season, staying on board up to season 8, then would transfer over to Sonic SatAM. As a director, he made his debut directing all but 2 episodes of Invasion America, which was followed up by episodes of Roswell Conspiracies and God, the Devil, and Bob. Fawcett would direct 10 episodes of Loonatics Unleashed across both seasons. Following Loonatics, Fawcett would direct for shows including The Boondocks, Hulk and the Agents of Smash, and Puppy Dog Pals. Chris Brown, no relation, has very little writing credits to his name. He would write 3 episodes of Friends, 3 episodes of What's New Scooby-Doo, and single episodes for shows like The Doodlebops, Johnny Test, and Together the series. Act 2 begins with Duck using his teleportation powers to escape the ice, followed by Slam breaking it entirely, freeing the rest.
Hello? You still in there? Well, I think that puts me in charge!
Nice work there, Slam.
Zadavia chimes in on a nearby payphone to provide further information about the Vikings. Gunnar and his crew slipped his iceberg through an interdimensional portal that formed during the meteor strike. Using some hover bikes, the team get back to work fighting the Vikings. After shooting the ship down, the Loonatics discover that only one of Gunnar's crewmates was on board. Using Rev's radar abilities, they locate the rest of the crew, heading towards the main power station for the entire planet, which would knock the planet back to the Stone Age if Gunnar seizes control of it. Meanwhile, Gunnar begins to do just that, using their combined ice weapons to freeze it solid. As power across the planet starts to go out, the Loonatics make their way to the station.
What's up, hornheads?
Freeze them!
You picked the wrong planet to invade, Pally.
We get a proper fight scene between both parties, with Tech attempting to reprogram Gunnar's crew. Using the Vikings' own energy against them with the head of the Viking left on the ship, Tech successfully destroys Gunnar and his crew and jumpstarts the power grid, saving the day.
We did it! It worked!
Back at HQ, Zadavia congratulates the team, minus Duck, on a job well done. Pissed that she failed to give him recognition, Duck summons her back, only for her to force the name Danger Duck on him before leaving for good, as we close out the episode.
At least it's better than what she used to call you.
Fine. Danger Duck. I can live with that.
Good, 'cause we like it too.
Loonatics on Ice serves as a decent opening act for the show, presenting a typical antagonist of the week plot to get the viewers acclimated to what's to come. That being said, starting the series in media res robs us of some of the best parts of any superhero show. The Origins episode. Yes, we know how they get their powers, but we as an audience don't get to see it played out as an actual episode. Day of the Dumpster, the debut episode of Power Rangers, showcases this perfectly. We get shown our heroes in their day-to-day lives before the inciting incident, in this case, Rita Repulsa breaking free from her space dumpster, which in turn forces Zordon to recruit those 5 teenagers with attitude to become Power Rangers and fight off Rita's forces.
Alpha, Rita's escape. Recruit a team of teenagers with attitudes.
Now, we'll be getting something sort of like this in a later episode, but we'll discuss that when we get to it. For now, let's continue on with episode 2.